Hi Cancer, this is your Higher Octave reading for the period of September 9 to September 24. And we have here with the Voyager deck, as I mentioned at the end of the general reading, there's quite a few major arcana cards here, really powerful ones that are kind of talking about you basically turning the situation around on its head. So perhaps you, like I said in the previous reading, you're coming from maybe a separation or a breakup, where maybe you kind of piece some bits of information together, or just like, you know, your intuition was telling you something, maybe you kind of realized that someone had not been honest to you and you decided to cut things off and move forward. This is talking about sort of, I'm not seeing any like partnership energy in any of these cards as I was in the first reading, but what I'm seeing here is really empowered energy of you kind of, as I said, acknowledging. It's like you saw what you did before and what was the result of those decisions and those actions, and you're kind of assessing and strategizing how you're going to move forward into this next cycle of your life in a way that's much more powerfully strategized. In a way, it's like you're channeling the energy of the magician forward in a way that's like seeking greater clarity, greater wisdom. It's very spiritual in a way. There's a lot of cards here that are kind of talking about like your spiritual awakening and a spiritual kind of drive towards, you know, a more, what's the word? A life of fulfillment that is based on like more meaningful endeavors. Yeah? It's like you're driving forward and creating a breakthrough for yourself by seeing your disappointments and your losses as opportunities to grow, to change, to learn. Maybe you'll take some study. You have the Child of Crystals at the crowning card here, which is labeled learner in this deck. So there's this energy here of like wanting to like use the energy of the situation that you've been in that maybe was painful or disappointing, or you know, didn't turn out in the way you wanted to. But it's like you're using that as fuel, as motivation to kind of move things forward in a direction where you actually are able to gain more insight into deeper meaning of things. But it's more like the word reclamation keeps coming to me, and I feel like you've decided you're not gonna. It's not that you're not gonna, you're deciding to be more empowered. You're deciding to be more empowered. You're deciding to like let the things that hurt you actually be the seed for change for your life. That you're gonna take a more spiritual warrior approach to things and drive yourself forward using the Chariot energy to create a more stable, balanced lifestyle for yourself, where you are more grounded, more aware, more in tune. You know, it's like your energy field is something that you're becoming much more aware of, like the influences around you and how things that are happening in your environment are affecting you, and you're kind of taking stock of everything and being a little bit more, you know, precise and aware and taking notice of things and like eliminating what needs to go and kind of channeling and funneling your emotions into a more stable space, rather than being all over the place with your emotions and letting. It's not that emotions are bad. Emotions are really powerful and they're really necessary. It's more about like taking awareness out of your emotions and like mining it for data. You know, like feeling things and letting those feelings be expressed and be experienced, and not try to shut things out or hold back from, or not just try to always be positive, but actually using your emotions as tools to guide you. Again, as I said, you had the Nine of Cups in the previous reading, and it's showing up here again in the reverse position. And I do feel as though, as I said, you're coming from the past and into this reading with, you know, disappointment and fear and setback. So it's like a recovery process of you realizing that like your emotional well-being is in your hands. And if you haven't been feeling fulfilled, you can become fulfilled by channeling that energy. So you have, at the bottom of the deck, there is a Nine of Wands, the Man of Cups, 10 of Crystals, and then Six of Cups reversed. It's something about like, again, recovery. There's a recovery here, like you're reclaiming your energy. You're like, maybe some of you are actually dealing with addiction. That could be what that was in the previous reading with the devil there. It might not be about a partner, but maybe you're deciding to cut off from your own habits that are like not helping you or not supporting your higher growth. But you know, if you've been dealing with some types of addictions, it's suggesting here that you're coming into a time now where you want to address those things and end behaviors that were harmful to you, and start to move forward in a way where you are having more integrity. You're balancing your emotional body and finding ways to channel your emotions into things that actually help you and heal you, rather than trying to block them out or numb things by using substances. But the overall feeling is very empowered, it's very courageous, it's very brave. It does feel like you are like kind of picking yourself up and like letting the pain of the past have a voice, but in a way that's more healthy for you, rather than trying to like mute things that you've been feeling. And by doing so, you can, as I said, reclaim, restore, rehabilitate, and recover. And it's a growth. Your challenge here, the obstacle card, crossing the Two of Worlds in this reading is the growth card, the Ten of Wands. So it's, as I said, yeah, it's kind of indicating that you are deciding to put down the baggage and put down the weight of the oppression of past experiences of pain, but rather than, because if you try to like block your emotions or numb your emotions, they don't go away. You still have to process them and resolve them. And that doesn't have to be a painful thing. It's actually it's like lightening the load. That's what, because the Ten of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck is the image of the man carrying this huge bundle of sticks that weighs him down. So it's like putting down all the oppressive baggage that's kind of weighing on you, and actually addressing things in a way that's more sustainable for your life. It's about creating a healthier lifestyle. It's about finding the right tools that work for you, that help you understand yourself, understand your environment, understand the situations that you're in, how you got there, make you feel empowered, that you know that how much of a creator you are and how much power is in your hands. That's what I think the Magician is really bringing to this reading, is to help you understand that you have a lot of tools available to you. There's a lot of power in you. And if you channel that energy forward in an authentic, humble way of like striving to learn and seeking your spiritual path, that you can uncover a lot of mystery that's locked in you and open it up for your own well-being, and then eventually for the wider community, the greater world. So I think you're coming out of a time of pain and mourning. Some of you may be mourning. A lot of us have unexpressed grief, you know. We haven't really been taught in our culture how to manage our emotions, and especially not grief. So if some of this, maybe some of this actually is triggered by a death. Actually, maybe you did actually experience a death in your life recently, or even from the past, that you haven't fully mourned yet. And this could be a time where you're actually allowing yourself to really release those emotions, so you can move forward and into a greater sense of well-being and let go of the past in a really healthy way. Building greater routines and habits, healthy habits and routines, improving your quality of life on a daily basis based on the habits and practices that you put in place, using discipline, using willpower, using enthusiasm, using the desire to be healthier, knowing that being healthier actually leads to happiness, because of, what you put in you is as important as, whether it's food or whether it's media, whether it's people, whatever energy you take in, it actually has a big influence on you. It has a huge effect. So I think it's a period of time where you're learning what works for you and what doesn't. And that's a really positive thing. It's really beneficial to start to get to know listen to your body, you know. Listen to the messages your body is giving you about what's good for you and what's not. Really listen and take heed. And start to make some changes, just one by one, you know. You don't have to like transform everything in your daily habits overnight. Make it sustainable. Do it in a way that you can actually stick to it. Don't try to overload yourself with too much at once. Okay, Cancer, that is your higher octave reading for this period from the new moon to the full moon. So I hope that was helpful to you. Please be in touch, reach out if you have any comments. If you want to talk with me, let me know. Thanks for sharing this space with me, and I will see you in the next cycle.